right, bear with me. 1 second. All right, shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Shah, brother Thumb, Yahweh Shemar, Thumb Shem Shah, priest and officer 1000, Yadai, hold it down till 12 show General Muhammad gets here. Make sure you type all your questions in so when the general gets here, you'll be able to answer and break down your questions. Now, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. A lot going on right now. A lot going on over here in America. And it's time, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman, for us to come out of this world. For us to realize, man, that you're not free white in 21. That you are never going to get along, to go along here in America in the oppressor's kingdom, man, which is Babylon. I mean, let me get Romans, RY, chapter 13 and verse 11. Again, if y'all got any questions, make sure y'all type them in. The general will be here. Allah ya Barak. Yahweh Shem Shah Barakatah. Wrap it up. All right. Let's get it on. I'll take your questions in the room and out the room whenever you're ready.
Aux mode.
This camera's a little lower. It's supposed to be higher on top of books. Is it on books? All right, try to leave it up there on books all the time, all right? Go. We'll go into anything you need to, of course, the school shootings in Texas. And any other topics that you might need to go out to camp, all right?
Doctor, you got a question online, sir?
I'm ready out.
Says, sir, it's Psalms 137, verse 7, speaking about 70 AD, or was David speaking of a time he saw in his lifetime?
Let me hear it.
Book of Psalms, chapter 137, and verse 7. Remember, O Lord,
seems slanted. I could just fall into that side. Is that right? Give me 1 second as a car.
Come.
You need to raise it on this side right here. It's a little low on that leg right there. That's better. It's getting straight, solid. It looks straight to me. You can confirm. All right, let's get it on. Go ahead. I'm ready.
The book of Psalms 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
Oh, God. No, this is not speaking about 70 AD. This is talking about a time before this, when Jerusalem was sacked during the Babylonian Empire. This is talking about the conquest of Babylon. Babylon conquered Jerusalem as well. We went into captivity under the Babylonians. It was history during the time of David, and he's speaking about that. Everyone understands. Now, of course, any sack of Jerusalem or destruction of the Lord's land and his people, you can always apply to the next one, because it has happened so many times after that.
Everyone understands, right? But that's talking about the Babylonian conflict, the fall of Jerusalem, when the Edomites assisted our enemies in our conquest, all right? Next.
Come. Sister asked, did Noah truly live to be 900?
The water done, y'all. Good.
Come. Sister asked, did Noah truly live to be about 950 years old?
I mean, well, give me the preset. Let me give you, this is what you want to use for all ages and dates in the Bible. Until the Romans came, no one looked at dates, as if they mattered. The Most High looks at time in seasons, not on specific dates, right? The springtime is a season. The beginning of spring is a general date, right? The beginning of winter is a general date. It changes from year to year. And that's the same thing with ages in the Bible. When you read about any age in the Bible, no one is celebrating their birthday, so no one knows exactly how old they are. It's in general. Everybody understands, all right? So now, whatever age the Bible says anyone is, it is not that age like the way that you look at your age every year on a calendar because you were raised in a Judeo-Christian society which celebrates gods every day at this time, every season, every month, every year on this day. And so that's why you, of course, know the dates of your birthday, so you can celebrate yourself and the 4th of July and midnight when the clock strikes midnight at this particular time. That's Roman. It's not our custom to be that specific. Next.
Come. Sister wanted a breakdown of 2 Samuel 13 and 12 through 17.
Good.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 13, verse 12. And she answered him, Nay, my brothers, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel.
He wants a breakdown on this. This is a precept against rape. There are some fake Israelite groups, the Christian church, which is a major promoter of rape, probably the most significant promoter of rape on the planet Earth is the Christian church, the Catholic Church, right? They believe in forcing women to have sex. They believe in forcing children to have sex. This precept is yet another precept that proves that rape is wrong if you didn't already know that.
Right.
Read it one more time.
Come. Verse 12. And she answered him, Nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing.
Read above it.
Come. Verse 11. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her and said unto her, Come lie with me, my sister. And she said, and she answered.
So this cat took hold on her, which in this context means he grabbed her. And he said, Come have sex with me. Come lie with me. Lie with me is old biblical language for have sex with me. All right? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 12. And she answered him, Nay, my brother.
She said what?
Nay, my brother.
She said what?
Nay, my brother.
Yeah, she said no, this is not consensual. And for you young brothers who might not know this, or because of the way you grew up and the way that you learned to have sex, you cannot have sex with a woman against her will. Even your wife. Because she's your wife, that does not give you the ability or the right to rape her. Let me give you another example. Because you're her husband, that doesn't give her the right to go in your phone, does it? And now every man knows that, do they not? Every man feels violated by a woman going in his phone. Every man. You feel like she's wrong for doing that. She's going in your phone. That's wrong. That's a violation for her to go into your phone. But yet I have encountered men over the years who think that a wife who's married to you has no right to say no ever to sex. That is because of some twisted thing you grew up in or the whores you paid to have sex with in the past. I don't know what hangups you have in your stupid mind, but you cannot force a woman to have sex. All sex must be consensual. That kind of thing is not to be done in Israel. You cannot force a woman to have sex. She cannot force you to hand over your phone and to go into your phone or into your computer. You can't violate each other thinking that you have a right to violate each other because you're family. That's a disgusting way to think. If it was someone else, you would know you couldn't go into his phone or go into his computer or key his car or slash his tires. But because it's your husband, you feel you have the right to slash his tires, to key his car, or to go in his phone. And because if it was another woman, you would know you don't have the right to force her against her will to have sex. But because she's your wife, you feel licensed to harm her, and you don't have that license. A woman does not have that license to do that to a man, and a man does not have that license to do it to a woman. Come on, knock in the back.
Would a precept be when it says be not a lion in your own house?
That's an excellent precept. That's about physical violence, which you're not allowed to do simply because it's your family. So many people save their worst cruelty for their family.
Right.
They save it for them. They're never cruel to anybody the way they are to the people in their family. That is not to be done in this school or in this nation. Everyone understands.
Right.
I pray. Next.
Brother wanted to break down, sir, Matthew 5 and 13.
Go ahead.
Book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted?
One verse above it.
Verse 12. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you.
Keep going.
Verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savor.
The ye that he's speaking about is the nation of Israel, man. You are the salt of the earth, meaning you are the thing that gives the earth flavor. Without you, the world would have no flavor. It would be just dry and disgusting and white music and white architecture and white lifestyle. It would be like Russia. Imagine Russia just cold and dead and just brutality reigning over everyone. That's what life would be like. Life is good everywhere because you're there. You are the salt of the earth. You give this planet flavor. Everyone understands. Continue. You are the salt of the earth.
Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savor.
The word savor means taste. But if the salt has lost its taste, keep going.
Sir. If the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted?
Then how will it be salted? If the salt doesn't have any more taste, then how will the food get its flavor? How will it be salted? How will the earth get its flavor if the salt doesn't have any flavor? What is your flavor? What is your salt? The law. The law is that thing that gives us our flavor. The way we conduct ourselves, the way we treat each other. We get that from the law. Give me that precept in Deuteronomy where it says, thou shalt teach the other nations thy ways. Or, I'm sorry, that the law shall be thy calling card, not calling card. The law shall be what makes thyself glorious in the sight of the other nations. All right? The law is what makes us special. It's what gives us our flavor. Without the law, you know what we are? We're just like white people. That's us. We're just rapists and murderers. Without the law, everything that we hate about our oppressor because of his cruel treatment of us, we do to each other. So then the black neighborhood isn't a place where you can feel good and be safe. The black neighborhood is more dangerous than outside of the black neighborhood. Why? Because there's no flavor in that black neighborhood. There's no salt. It was a time for periods of time, at least, when people were afraid to leave their neighborhood for fear of getting hung, for fear of being lynched. And the neighborhood was where it was safe because the people here didn't murder you. They didn't steal from you. They didn't rape your wife. They didn't take your land. But of course, jealousy brought us into being just like our oppressor. So now our neighborhoods have no flavor. If you want to look at a Black or Hispanic neighborhood that's terrible, it's because it has no salt. It has no flavor. None at all. They'll treat you the same way the oppressor treats everyone else, your own people. Everybody gets it, right? Anything else? Next. I'm sorry, up here, up front. Please.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding.
Keep therefore and do the law. The Most High gave us the laws. Keep those laws, meaning hold on to them, always have them, and do them. Keep going.
And your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Because these laws are our understanding in the sight of the nations. The Most High created this earth with enemies on every side of us. And the Most High wanted us to have that special thing that gives us protection and dominance over all of our enemies, and that's the law. But when you give up the law, the neighborhood becomes the kind of hellholes that you and I grew up in, all throughout America and South and Central America. Come on. And Haiti, Salakia. And Great Britain, Salakia. Keep going.
If I could, that's why we charge the Christian church for what the doctrine that they push, because like you said, it was salt at one point in time in our communities. If we go back to these laws, statutes, and commands, then that's when our communities will be the safe haven again.
Give him a hand. That's a fact, though. That's a fact. Good to go. Next.
Just got a question. She said, will we be able to recognize faces or souls in the kingdom of heaven?
Will we be able to recognize faces or souls in the kingdom of heaven? Yes, absolutely. Christ was changed. His appearance was changed, but everyone knew he was Christ. So absolutely, you will be able to recognize even the people whose bodies have been changed when they're taken onto the chariots. You'll still know who they are. It might be difficult, like it was difficult to know who Christ was. But after a minute, they realized it was him. Everyone understands. Next.
Brother said, Shalom to y'all. If I may, what's the right to eat steak? Can we eat it medium rare, or should our steaks be well done for once?
Okay, there is no law that says you have to eat your steak well done. You can eat your steak medium rare. Now, here's what matters when it comes to eating anything. All right, medium rare is lawful. The technical definition of medium rare. Do you understand? The technical textbook definition of medium rare is absolutely lawful. It is pink in the center, but that pink in the center is not because of blood. It's because of the fat inside the meat, which you can see before it's cooked. It's all types of, they call it marbling. It's like white lines that go all through steak when it's raw. So if you don't cook it well done, that marbling, that fat will leave it light colored or light pink. It will not be blood. If you want to do a test, you take your finger and you push it. Now, blood will run out of it if it's blood in it, just like any wound. If you push it, blood begins to gush out. If blood runs out, then that steak is undercooked. It's unlawful if blood runs out. If the juices run clear, then it is a medium rare steak. Some people, you ask for medium rare, they'll give you rare. And rare steak is raw and bloody by definition. You get my point. It's supposed to be bloody. That's the whole point. Blue rare steak is just, I think they walk it through the kitchen and put it on the damn plate. A cow. So you want to watch, what you have to avoid is blood. And a medium rare steak, by definition, does not have blood in it. But of course, who the hell knows who's cooking it? You got to check it. So what you should do is go and push it. If blood runs out on the plate, then it's undercooked. If you push it and the juices are clear on the plate, then it is lawful to eat. Everybody gets it, right? Next.
Come, brother said, if I may, sir, can I get a breakdown on why Lot in Genesis 19 told the Sodomites his daughters were virgins, but in the same chapter it said they were married. And he lied to save those men.
Okay, the Bible doesn't say whether or not he lied. If he would have lied, it would have been the right thing to do. Or these women could have been given to these men, but not yet. They did not yet have sex with them. The Bible doesn't specify which one it is. So either he rightfully told a lie to them to save those brothers' lives, or these women were given away in marriage, but they had not yet consummated the marriage. Everybody understands, which would have still made them virgins. Come on, up front.
If I may, sir, I believe in that same chapter, Lot told them that they have not known a man.
I think that's what he's talking about. Lot told them that they hadn't known a man, and it's jogging my memory more. I believe when they went and after everyone was dead, they had sex with Lot, thinking that they could never bring forth a child. So the evidence, I'll check with Commander General Yohana, but the evidence wouldn't lean towards, in my memory of the breakdown, that they actually never had sex. And so that would mean they were given away in marriage, but they had not consummated. That's that time between what you would call today engagement and the marriage. It's that time where she's yours. She's been given away in marriage, but you haven't actually taken possession. You haven't actually consummated or had sex with the woman yet. So she's still yours, but you haven't had sex. Everybody gets it. Right? Next.
Brother says, Sloppy Circuit, can you break down Deuteronomy 28, 52 to 55? The fake Israelite said those curses only apply to the seed in the land. It cannot be used to describe the conditions of our people today.
All right, go ahead and read.
Go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 52. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fence wall come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land.
You gotta read that one more time so I can understand.
Come. Verse 52. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates.
Read above it. Give me the context, please.
Come. Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young.
Okay, everyone knows. I don't know what the fake Israelites have said. I haven't heard what they say about this precept. But everyone knows what this is talking about. This is talking about America, or the British, or the French. All right, or the nation of Esau. Read it one more time. Or the Spanish. Continue.
Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young.
Those are the Edomites, a nation of fierce countenance. A countenance is like the look on your face. The look on your face is fierce. And that was the Roman Empire, brother, the Spaniards, the British, the French. Meaning when I say a look on your face, meaning a look that says they have no mercy. They're not going to care if you're a child. They're not going to care if you're elderly. They're going to kill you. That's the nation that came up against the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Come on.
I have a question. So I have been looking into the Roman Empire around the time that we entered. Is it true that I want to make sure and fact check from you? Did they also have other Edomite nations in captivity?
Absolutely. They absolutely had them in captivity, right? Come on.
I was going to say the word Slav, which is the term they use for Eastern Europeans, means slave. Western Europeans, Edomites routinely put Russians and Ukrainians in slavery, which is part of the reason why they have to divide to this day.
Right. Slavery is not exclusive to the 12 tribes of Israel, right? But the particular brand of slavery that we suffered is absolutely singular on this earth. Like no one got their nationality stripped from them, where now they became another people and their identity was stripped from them. That didn't happen to the Slavic people.
Right.
That didn't happen to the Gauls or to the Druids or anybody else that went through captivity under an enemy that conquered them in war. That was the normal way to do it. The normal way was you fought someone in a war, you lost the war, now you became their slave. That's normal, right? But what happened to us was absolutely peculiar. And forget about being taken from your land and shipped off to another land. That absolutely was peculiar to happen to any people. And then to totally lose who you were and for another people to take your identity, that's peculiar. Everyone understands. But as far as oppression, my God, you know, the so-called white man will oppress white people. Ask the people that stormed the White House and stormed the Congress. Right? Ask those white boys in trailer parks. Ask the Proud Boys. They feel absolutely oppressed by their government, by their own people. They blame us for it. I'll never understand that. But our oppressor would oppress anybody who cannot defend themselves. You understand? The problem is in choosing and deciding to oppress blacks and Hispanics, he has made an enemy of God. Choosing to oppress us means he has oppressed children who God loves. And God fights our battles for us, unlike the Slavic people, unlike the Russians, unlike the Druids and the Celts. God defends the children of Israel. Everyone understands. Next.
Brothers and sisters, I got to break down Genesis 19 and verse 30.
I don't think I broke that one down yet, though. The other one. Read it one more time. Go ahead, a bunch.
I just had the point if I could, the present proves that the curses would always be on us.
Right, go ahead.
It's in the same chapter.
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Yeah, I mean, if a fake Israelite is saying that there's any curse that is gone until Christ returns, that of course is silly, because there are scriptures that prove that's absolutely wrong. Right? That we're going to suffer this until Judgment Day, which is the whole point of Judgment Day, right? If a curse is over before Judgment Day, then what in the hell is Judgment Day for? Right. The whole point is that these things do not stop without Christ returning, which is the reason we have to follow him and change our life and become better people, because these curses will not end until he returns. Now, if I need to break this one down, I can, but that's one precept. There are a few other ones in the Old Testament and the New Testament that says that these curses will not end. They don't go away. They don't just run out. It's not like a clock where the game is just over because of time. This goes on and on until our Lord returns. Read a little bit of it so I can move on.
Come, verse 51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle.
Oh my God. I mean, I don't know are they saying that this isn't happening anymore? You better ask the Mexicans. You better ask California. You better ask the brothers in Mississippi and in Georgia. He shall eat the fruit of thy cattle, meaning your calf, the calf that should belong to you, because it's yours. On your land, you work the land, you tended to the bull and to the cow, but the calf goes to him. That's happening right now, not just in slavery or in the 1600s. It's happening today, right now with our brothers, the Mexicans. Right now, they're out there suffering in a field with their backs broken, picking vegetables that belong to them on their land that is theirs. And they give it to some devil who gives them 90 cents per 40 pounds of strawberries. Did I make that number up? I did not. I did not. That's not an exaggeration. That's how much they get paid. Everyone understands. That's happening right now. Forget about it in Haiti. Forget about sharecropping, which is happening now, right now, today in Mississippi, where the tribe of Judah is picking cotton right now on a land that their great-grandfather picked cotton on. on a land that they've had since the Emancipation Proclamation, and they take all that cotton and they sell it to someone and they get pennies for it. And that's that. I mean, I don't know what I could do for the fake Israelites. I don't know. They want to find a way to make our enemy guiltless, to make him innocent, and that's your, that's your right. That's what you want to do. But me myself, I believe in justice. I believe in it. It's all I have. The hope for justice. Next.
Brother wanted to break down slightly, sir. Is Leviticus 14 and 35 and 38 referring to mold? And does this mean your home is unclean if there is mold?
Is Leviticus something referring to mold? Let me hear it. Tell them where it is.
Leviticus 14 and 35.
Who made the food? Who made the food tonight? Call it out. Who made the food? No one knows.
I think it might be from the feast.
Oh, feast. Who made the food for the feast? Give him a hand then. Good job, Philadelphia. Sisters. All the sisters in Philadelphia that made the food. Good job. Go ahead.
From God, book of Leviticus, chapter 14, verse 35. And he that owneth the house shall come and tell the priest, saying, it seemed to me there is as it were a plague in the house. Verse 36. Then the priest shall command that they empty the house before the priest go into it to see the plague.
You got to read me up above it a little bit so I can get the context.
Come, verse 33. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, when ye be come into the land of Canaan, which I give to you for a possession, and I put the plague of leprosy in a house of the land of your possession. Verse 35. And he that owneth the house shall come and tell the priest.
Right, that's not talking about mold, all right? Now, with that said, if you got mold in your house, go ahead and take the proper precautions, all right? If you got mold in your house, call the mold people and get the hell out of there before you get sick. And get your kids out of there, all right? Because you can get sick from different strains of mold. But this precept is not talking about mold. The plague of leprosy is on people in the house. The people in the house, if they have leprosy is a skin or a scalp disease. All right, it's what they call today vitiligo. When I was a kid, I thought Michael Jackson had vitiligo because he lied and said he did. But he did not have vitiligo. He was just lying and just wanted to look like a white woman. But actual vitiligo is when your skin begins to turn white or when your hair begins to turn blonde. That's vitiligo. So if leprosy is in a house, meaning the people in the house have leprosy, have white skin. Before you know it, you see the father, he has it. The kids got it. You better get the hell up out of there. It's something going on in that house. It's a quarantine. And these things happen. Give me the blue people of Kentucky up on the screen. There's just people in Kentucky, blue like Smurfs are. Have you heard of these people? Oh my God, you know about them, Daniela. They blue like Smurfs. And it's all in the damn family. Nobody knows what it was. Of course, in Kentucky, they're intermarrying a lot. And that strengthened the blue pigment in everybody's skin. It wasn't until later they found out they could take some pill or some mineral and get rid of the damn blue skin, and they finally did it. But okay, it's a sign that something is wrong in the family, and the family lives in the house. Everybody understands, right? The brother will show you the blue people of Kentucky. It's a similar situation. It's a skin disorder that families can have, all right? That's what that's talking about. That's not mold, all right? Next, in the back. See me one more time, please, Daniela, with the chaser. Go ahead.
Is there any specific news outlet that you get like news from that you just get it?
Me personally? Okay, what I personally do, you don't have to do this. You can get your news from wherever you want to get your news from. That's your personal choice, as long as you get your breakdowns from the UPK. right? But you can get your news like entertainment from wherever you want to. Me personally, I listen to political rivals, to people that hate one another, hoping that they will keep each other in check. So I listen to the Republicans and what they say, and then I listen to their enemies, the Democrats. I listen to both of them. And what you can do because of the Bible is find what is true in both of them. Both of them are trying to lie to you. But if you listen to both of them and combine that with the breakdowns you can only learn in the UPK under Commanding General Yohana, then you can figure out what's true. That's what I personally do, all right? Go ahead, next. Whenever you're ready. Any other questions? Danielle, you might as well see me one more time on the scotch as well, all right? I mean on the drink, on the secret drink. Go ahead.
Brothers and Slavi, sir, can I get a breakdown of Genesis 19 and 30? And why was Lot afraid to go to Zohar?
Go ahead and read it.
From God, the book of Genesis, chapter 19, verse 30. And Lot went up out of Zohar and dwelt in the mountain, and his two daughters went with him, for he feared to dwell in Zohar. And he dwelt in a cave, he and his two daughters.
I'll explain. Zohar, it was a city, right? Lot had just witnessed the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed in a meteor shower, right? What the Bible calls fire and brimstone from heaven. Fire and brimstone is what you would call today a meteorite shower, where rocks from space come flying down on you and kill everyone, right? So after he saw that, he was too terrified to go into any city. So instead, he went and hid in a cave. It would be very similar to you seeing, the nuclear disaster happen in America, and you don't want to go to, England. You want to go hide in a hole in the ground. You want to go into a bunker, which is what he did, right? He saw death coming from the sky, raining down on the earth, so he didn't feel safe out in the open. He only felt safe in what you would call today a bunker, what he called a cave. He wanted to go underground to hide where he felt safe. That's simple enough. And if you could just think about regular people, the people we're reading about were people. And he was terrified of the sky. So he went and hid in a hole in the ground, which is, I believe, exactly what you would do if you had a bunker and you survived World War III, like in the movies. You would get in a bunker or a cave and get underground. Here they go right there. See, somebody should have done something about that. That's a problematic guy. That's probably, he looks like Mr. Smurf. Is that his name? Papa Smurf. Well, it was a whole family of these cats in some Kentucky town, just living like that all the time. Of course, they didn't go to the doctor because they didn't want that needle, like a lot of you lunatics afraid of vaccines. They didn't want to go to the doctor either. So they sat there and there was blue niggas walking all around Kentucky, afraid of the doctor. Finally, someone had 2 cents in his head and went to the doctor, and they took some mineral, and that was that. But it went on for like 100 damn years. You got a family portrait of him? You should see that as well. Jesus Christ. Go to the doctor. You come in here, Blue. I don't know you're getting in here, Blue. It's not my decision, but if I'm asked, I will be against it. All right, next.
Sister said, is it a demon if someone has dreams of committing sin? Or is that subconsciously what they want to do?
It's a demon. If you have dreams, thoughts in your mind that are negative, that are against what's right, those are demons, right? He is the Lord of the air. You understand what I mean by that? That's what it says about Satan in the Bible. Lord of the air, meaning he is just everywhere. And your dreams are thoughts. And thoughts come into your mind based on what you see. Right? If you're somewhere living around race cars, then you're going to dream about race cars at night. Right? The Bible says that dreams come through the busyness of the day. So the things that you see in everyday life, some of them you don't even notice them. Doctors call that your subconscious, where you don't really notice it, but it's still logged away in your brain. And sometimes it will attach itself to past memories, and then you'll have a thought of killing someone, a thought of molesting a child, a thought of stealing, a thought of committing adultery, a thought of homosexuality. You'll have a thought. Now, too many times people look at that thought like, that's me. That's my thought. I'm thinking about that. And the minute you take ownership of it, you give it validity. Like you give it power. Because then it becomes a possibility. You know, I'm thinking about committing adultery. Maybe I am unhappy. I did have dreams about my ex. Maybe that's God trying to tell me to go back to my ex. Maybe that's what these thoughts are all about. Maybe these dreams are really my thoughts and, things I should be doing. What you have to do is filter out your own mind. You have to do it. Abun.
Ecclesiastes chapter 34,
Thank you.
verse 2.
Go ahead.
Whoso regardeth dreams is like him that catcheth at a shadow.
That's it. Like imagine grabbing a shadow. You're trying to grab at it and touch it. That's what a person is that regards a dream. You look at a dream like, well, this dream means something. This dream is so important. I dreamt this thing, so now I should do it. That's like someone trying to touch a shadow. It has shape, right? You can look at it, it's there, but if you go to touch it, it has no substance, and that's what dreams are. Continue.
And followeth after the wind.
And you follow, you hear the wind blow, so you go to chase it. You go to find the wind. It's gone. You don't know where it's going. It's not something you should pay attention to. You have to have dreams about negative things, and when those things happen, you wake up from it and you go, that was Satan. That's it. That was a demon. I had that thought. I thought about it. I'm not doing that. I think about it every night. I'm waking up every day and not doing that because it's wrong. And you have to do that with your mind, with your dreams, or else those demons will control you. Everyone understands. In the back.
What the precept be like when Christ said, if you look at the woman to lust, you commit sin, but that's where the sin starts.
Okay, it's a almost precept. It's not quite on the mark, but it's telling you that sin is in your mind, and that's where it starts, and you better control it there. I get that. I could take that. Come on.
So I had two more verses on it.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 34, verse 6. If they be not sent from the Most High in thy visitation, set not thy heart upon them.
There you go. If they be not sent from the Most High in thy visitation, don't set your heart on it. Meaning don't set your mind on it if it's not sent from the Most High. How do you know if a dream is sent by the Most High? The Bible. That's how you know. You come into the school, you get the breakdowns, and you filter your dreams through this. That's it. So now you have a dream about something righteous and decent and good and what you learned in here, then the Most High sent that dream. You have a dream about doing something evil and foul, you wake up and throw it away and pay no mind to it at all. Everyone understands. Come on. I'm sorry. Let me get it done first. Go ahead.
One more verse. Ecclesiastes chapter 34, verse 7. For dreams have deceived many, and they have failed that put their trust in them.
Namely, you Christians with Martin Luther King, right? And him in general, but there are a lot of people out there that have dreams and wake up and get on an evil path because of a dream. An evil path. A lot of people have, desires that they think about, and they are on it as if God is telling them to do it, when God is not telling you to do it at all. All right? And you'll find out when it's too late. just like Martin Luther King.
Right.
Next. In the back, let me get in the back. Go ahead.
So with like the Bible already being here, would people still get prophecies like in the dreams or visions since the Bible already got all the prophecies are listed?
Absolutely. It's happening right now to confirm the Bible. That's in the book of Joel, right? That's what Peter said when they first went out on the street after the day of Pentecost, when they went out on the street and taught, right? Young men and women are going to dream dreams and have prophecies that are from God. And those dreams will confirm what's in the Bible. And that's how you'll know that now we're in the time of the end. We're in the time of a high awakening when the children of God are finally going to wake up. It's a prophecy fulfilled. It's in the Bible. So then when it happens today, you'll know that the Bible was true when it said that thy young men and women shall dream dreams and prophesy. You understand? Come on.
Also, last thing. So would there be any type of dream a person can have that's not about the Bible, but still like before something happens?
Still true?
Right.
It's not about the Bible.
Right.
Okay, if it's not about the Bible, it's a crapshoot. You know, it could be true, could not be true, could be just you what you want. It's like going to Vegas. You know, you go, you think you're gonna hit that number, right? Right? And you might, but really you're not. Right? It's just like anything. It's nothing. Which is why the Bible is saying, don't grab them. You know, if you have a dream about fish, tribe of Judah, that means nothing. Issachar, you don't know about this, do you? Well, see, my tribe here, let me explain it to you. This is where we grow up. Tell her, you a Simeonite. Do you know about it, though? From growing up around Judites? Go ahead. Yeah, if you dream about fish when you're from the tribe of Judah, someone is clearly pregnant. Obviously. Right? Obviously, someone's pregnant because you dreamed about fish. I don't know how the correlation, I don't know where the hell it came from, but dreaming about fish means that someone is pregnant. Okay, that is not real and not true. So any dream you have now, does that mean, you know, can you dream about a pregnancy and it happened? Yeah. It's you thinking about it and it happened, but it's not, you can't grab it. It's not real. It's not something that you can follow. It's just thoughts. Just think like this. The thoughts that you have when you are asleep are the same as the thoughts you have when you're awake. They're just thoughts. That's it. All right, done. Next.
Brother said, question, sir. There is scripture saying the Most High has preserved from evil, so does he control demons as well?
The Most High is in charge of Satan. Satan has to answer to the Most High. So you want to think about it more like a chain of command, right? Satan is the Lord of demons, or Baal-zebub, right? He is in charge of the demons. Every demon reports to Satan, and Satan reports to the Most High God. And so Satan is working for God. Demons are working for Satan. If you understand that, that's how it works. That's in the book of Job, all right? And in the New Testament where Christ talked about Baal-zebub. All right, next.
Sister said, I heard a camp tell the sister that she couldn't go outside and walk around the pond on the Sabbath day, because that's doing things that she likes. I didn't think that was true. Would you please explain?
Yeah, that's not true, baby girl. It's okay. Don't worry about that. A lot of camps say that you can't do things you like on the Sabbath. Solid. All right. Let's think about what you could do on the Sabbath. You can't do things you like. They're referring to the misunderstanding of a precept in Isaiah, right? Where the Lord said you cannot do your own pleasure on the Sabbath. All right. So what could you do? Could you sit down? Could you sit down on the Sabbath? No. Why? Because you want to sit down. So then let's start with that. You'd have to stand up. Okay. So you're standing all day. Do you want to stand on 2 feet? If you had the choice, what is your will? Is your will to stand on two legs or one? What's your will? Answer. Two. That's your will to stand on two legs. So that means you have to stand on one leg. Right? So now you're standing in your room on one leg. Let's keep going. In your room, do you like to stand in your room? Would you rather stand in your room on one leg or in the middle of a crowded highway? Where would you rather stand on the Sabbath? In your room. So that means you can't stand there. You'd have to go into the middle of the highway and stand there because that is where you don't want to be. Do you see where you can go with this? All right. Do you see how this keeps going and going? And when you're in the middle of the highway on one leg, when a car is barreling at you, do you want to move out of the way of that car? Is that your will? Is that your pleasure to dodge the car? Do you want to dodge the car? Yes or no? But then you have to get hit by the car because you want to dodge the car. All right. And here's what you don't know about the UPK. And you can tell because of the way we dress and the way we talk and because we're not cowards and you are, we're not crazy. You niggas are crazy. And here we're not crazy. We are, blow my mind, a bun. Thank you. We are practical in here. Give me a hand. Practical. That's all. Everything just makes it good. Practical. We take the Bible and take all the spooky nonsense that's in your mind off of the Word of God and make it a real living book that you can live by. You can go ahead and do right now, 2022. No problem. Because Christ did that. Christ made you understand the Bible so you could do it in your captivity so that your captivity could end. It is, of course, not unlawful to sit by a stream on the Sabbath. The only thing that is unlawful on the Sabbath is for your bastard job to make you work. That's what's unlawful on the Sabbath. For your job to tell you, if you don't come in on Saturday, you're fired. That's unlawful. That's wrong. That's what the Sabbath is about. And your will on the Sabbath is to make your employees work. That is your will on the Sabbath. On the Sabbath, your boss isn't doing what he has to do on the Sabbath. He isn't doing what he must do on the Sabbath. Your boss is doing what he wants to do on the Sabbath. What does he want to do? Make you work. That's his will. Why? Because he is on a boat on Saturday. Do you understand? He has front row seats at some football game or basketball game or courtside seats. You're at work on the Sabbath. Why? Because that's his will. That's his will on the Sabbath. For you to get in there and sweep and mop and work while he sits up with some white prostitute on an island. He is the one doing his will on the Sabbath. And his will is to make you work on Saturday. That's the only thing that's unlawful. Sex is lawful on the Sabbath. Absolutely. You don't have to say right so loud. But still, give her a hand. Give a bun a hand. Yeah. He is one West. But she's right. And I can't deny that. It is lawful. It's good to do good on the Sabbath. Did I make that up? It's in the Bible. It is not unlawful to do good on the Sabbath. Give this to the precepts so I can move on. It's in the New Testament, Akim, all right? Tell them where you are.
Luke chapter 14 and verse 5. And answer them saying, which of you shall have an
I'm sorry, tell them again where you are.
Luke chapter 14, verse 5.
Luke 14 and 5 says, this is what you need to cut fake Israelites, all right? Luke 14 and 5, go ahead.
And answered them saying, which of you shall have an ass or an ox, fallen into a pit and will not straightway pull him out on the Sabbath day.
That's Christ cutting them, because they're killing people over picking corn on the Sabbath, when if one of their oxes falls in a ditch on the Sabbath, they're not going to leave him there for a day.
Right.
Because why? Why won't they leave their ox in a ditch? Who can guess? Come on.
Because it's their profits.
Because they need him to make money.
Right.
You understand? Which is all this is ever about. So they'll kill you for sitting by a stream, watching a lake. They'll kill you for cooking food on the Sabbath. They'll kill you for eating corn on the Sabbath. But if their ox falls in a ditch on the Sabbath, oh, they're getting him out. Because that ox is how they make money, which is what the Sabbath law is all about. It's not about stopping you from looking at streams. It's about greed. And your employer is greedy, and he won't give you one day off. So the Most High had to put it in the law to force him to give you one day off. You know that if your ox fell in a ditch on the Sabbath, you would get him out. Which one of you, if your ox fell in a ditch on the Sabbath, wouldn't get him out? That's what Christ is saying. Because the men who will kill you over picking corn or cooking a microwave bottle, making a microwave bag of popcorn, they will not let their business fall because it's the Sabbath. They won't do it. Continue.
Verse 6, and they could not answer them again.
Yeah, they shut their mouths when they said that. They couldn't answer. Continue.
And he put forth a parable to those which were bidden.
Just skip down to it is right to do good on the Sabbath for time's sake. It is not wrong. Go ahead. Tell them where it is. You just want to look up do good on the Sabbath. It's in one of these parts. If you don't see it, I'll move on. Just tell me when you have it, all right? Go ahead. Next. It's probably around the one where the high priest, the priests go into the temple on the Sabbath and defame the Sabbath to keep the Sabbath. It is not wrong to do good on the Sabbath day. All right.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 12.
Matthew 12 and 12 is what you need, sis. Go ahead.
How much then is a man better than a sheep?
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath days.
It is lawful to do well on the Sabbath. That's lawful. So something that is well, something that is good, you can do it on the Sabbath as well. Simple enough to understand, right? Next.
Brother asked, can a bad decision also be a demon, even though it's not a sin?
You got to give me some context about that. All right. I would need more than that. And how do you know it's a bad decision? I would need more context. Okay. Sometimes some things you think are a bad decision are really not a bad decision. You just don't have patience. All right. Let me move on. Next, if he has more information, he can give it to me. If not, I'll move on. Next.
Brother asked, Shalom. Is Josephus Flavius' books credible sources?
The Josephus is credible, but not as credible as the Bible. It is not absolute. It is a valid history book paired with what you know for a fact from the Bible. But it is not a mate of the Bible. It is not equal to the Bible, and nothing is. So it is not infallible. Things on the tip of my tongue, I can't, a little bit, but mainly I remember the 70 AD, the siege of Jerusalem. Some brothers, history brothers more adroit at reading the Josephus might know more than what we go into in the Josephus. That's usually what I would use it for. All right. Next.
Brother said, Salaki, sir, what's the deal with having a hat on the bed? Is that bad luck?
Issachar, you know about that one? Yeah, that's another Judite one, Issachar. Okay, a hat in the bed, an umbrella up in the house. You know about that? It's superstitious nonsense. Right, just like you're feared of vaccine. It's superstitious nonsense. It's when you're ignorant, you're afraid of things you don't have to be afraid of. And you are not afraid of things that you should be afraid of because you're ignorant. That's what ignorance does. Ignorance has you afraid of needles, afraid of doctors, that white man's a needle. And you're not afraid of cocaine. So, which always blew my mind. Cocaine, all right, give me more. Let's have some of that. Right? But no, not that old white man's needle. You got cocaine? Yeah, give me some of that cocaine. I'll snort half of that right here in front of you. All right. A hat on the bed is a hat on the bed. Okay, what did it mean? I know it was bad luck. Come on, someone call my mother so I can go crazy in here. Because she'll tell you about all of this. A hat on the bed, I couldn't have a hat on the bed growing up. A hat on the bed, it meant something. That meant it was terrible. That's all I can remember. Go ahead.
The hat on the bed is like, you know, making sure you come in the house for New Year's with money.
Yeah, somehow it was all about that. It was all about the black eyed peas and the collard greens and the hat on the bed and the umbrella up. Now, okay, what it sounds like, but I'm just guessing because I don't know where the mess came from. It sounds like they just didn't want you to put your hat on the bed. They want you to, put it up. So they just made it magic, just made it like it was bad luck. They didn't want you to put your umbrella up in the house. They wanted you to put it, over there in the corner to let it drain. So they just said it was bad luck. That's all I can tell you. Okay, it means nothing, sister. Give her a hand. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like people just don't want you to put your purse on the ground. So they say you put your purse on the ground, you're not gonna have any money, but they just really don't want you to put your purse on the ground. That's what it sounds like. It's superstition. It means nothing at all. You're gonna carry that purse with you under your arm, and you are still going broke. It will not change anything. It's superstition, and the Bible is against superstitions. Give me that in the Bible. That's in the scriptures as well. Come on.
Brother Alana said having a bed means somebody will eventually die.
Boom. That's what it meant. That's exactly what it meant. If you put a hat on the bed, it meant someone was going to die. So there you go. So I'm sure as long as you keep your hat off the bed, no one ever died. Right? Fair enough. Issachar, you don't have any from growing up?
Our people would get a deer's eye and put it on a red string around their.
Say it into the microphone. Go ahead.
Deer's eye and put it on a red string around their wrist to keep people from giving them the evil eye.
A deer, like when you say a deer's eye, what do you mean?
Like a deer's eye.
A straight up and down, stinking and rotten?
Well, they used to do something to it.
Or preserve it probably in salt or something. And so they put a deer's eye on a string around their wrist, a red string. But now, what is the evil eye? I've heard of the evil eye. It was like someone just look at you like in the color purple, like they give you this shit right here, which means you're going to die. Point blank, you dead. That's it. They had, what else did they have? Anything else?
They have a bunch with saints in it.
Oh, forget about it with the damn saints. Yeah. All of the saints and the candles and the damn this and all of that. A lot of Ephraimites have the same thing. Dominicans have the same thing with the damn candles and the saints. It's all superstitious nonsense. None of it is real and it means nothing. But you should stop snorting cocaine. That you should cut back on. The crack and the weed and all of that, you probably should chill on all of that. That's actually real. Anything else? Next.
Robert said in Matthew 4:8-9, when the devil takes your Yahushua up to a mountaintop, it shows him the world at the time. Was the Roman government the kingdom that the devil showed him in Israel?
Absolutely. Showed him all the kingdoms of the world. The Roman government at that time was in charge of the world and had dominion over the planet, and Christ could have ruled it, but he would have foregone his opportunity to be the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings of Israel. And he gave that up to be your king. He died for you so he could rule over you and represent you. And he gave up what he could have gotten from the kingdom at that time. And that's the same opportunity that you have today. If you want to rule in your kingdom, you'll have to give up something here. Here you got to lose something. Here you're going to have to forego drug money and money, ill-gotten gains, money that you don't work for, which is a tremendous lure in America and in Great Britain right now. Money that you don't work for. Like that is, really your dream, is it not? Like when you grew up, your dream wasn't, to find a career and work it day and night and put your shoulder to the grindstone and work it until you prospered in it. You want to get rich now. You want money that you don't work for. And it is what Satan always offers people. Money without work, wealth without work. And it is so alluring to everyone. And so many people fall because of it. Christ didn't fall. He didn't get sucked into that game of somebody suckering you into offering you money that you didn't work for. He was willing to work for his money. I pray you understand what I mean. He worked for his money. Next.
Brother wants to know the lawful the word dreadlocks.
Dreadlocks are unlawful. Dreadlocks are a disgusting custom of the heathen. It is a religious custom. Wearing dreadlocks is no different than putting ashes on your forehead for Ash Wednesday, right? It's a religion. It's not a fashion statement, right? If you put a cross around your neck or burn ashes and rub them on your forehead for Ash Wednesday, it's not fashion. It's not makeup. It's a religious statement. And dreadlocks are a religious statement. It says that you worship the gods of the East Indians, mainly Shiva. Show him Shiva up on the screen. The goddess Shiva, whose dreadlocks turned into the Ganges River. And the East Indians, or to be more specific, a sect of the Hindu religion, wore dreadlocks. That sect of East Indians went to Jamaica in the 40s and 50s because East Indians run Jamaica, control it, own it, govern it. And when they went to Jamaica, they brought people who were of the lower class of East Indian people, the people that they would call the untouchables at that time. And they were the lowest class of East Indians. They, of course, wanted to get rid of them out of India, and they sent them over to Jamaica. And when they went to Jamaica, they smoked weed, and they had dreadlocks. And they began to convert the God's chosen people, the West Indians, in Jamaica, into Rastafarianism, to worship dreadlocks in the Ganges River over there in India. That's where it comes from. Dreadlocks are unlawful, and you cannot come into UPK with dreadlocks.
Right.
You're going to have to get rid of that. And that's a small sacrifice. When you become a member of the UPK, I will require a lot more than that from you. A lot more. Anything else? Next.
Brother wanted a general breakdown of Genesis 11 and verse 4.
Read it.
From God, the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 4. And they said, "Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven."
Just a general breakdown. Is that what he's saying?
Go.
Okay, this is during the time when what's this cat's name then? Nimrod. when Nimrod began to be a great warlord over the earth, meaning he would fight his enemies, fight wars with everybody, and win. He was a warlord. He began to win and win and win. I'm sorry, not warlord, Salakia. A mighty hunter. That's what the Bible calls him. A mighty hunter. He was an amazing, gifted killer. He was a gifted killer. And he began to win all of his battles. And every battle that he won, it created new people that would serve him. And everybody began to follow him because he fought and killed all of his enemies and took their people as his own. Everyone's with me, right? So as he began to get more strong and powerful, he began to see that he controlled all of the people down here. And he set his sights on God. He believed the same way that he fought his enemies on the earth, that he could use his massive power base of people and now fight God. And he wanted to conquer him. So he got all of his people together and they went to build a tower. And they started building it and building it. And it was pointing straight to heaven. His plan was to build this tower, to go up this step tower into heaven and to kill God. And then he would own the universe, own everything. He thought his plan for dominating the earth would also work for dominating heaven. What is the remnant or the replica of Nimrod's tower? The church steeple and the Egyptian pyramid. That's what that is. They're building it high enough and higher and higher and higher and higher, higher and higher to get to what? What's the goal? Even in America, when they came over to America and what's those centers in America, in New York, that they built a bunch? Come on, down there in the 30s. Yeah, the skyscrapers. The Empire State Building, what else? Is the other ones? Not that one. That's too late. The Empire State, the Chrysler Building. The Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building. All of them were competing to make the highest building. They were all trying to get higher and higher and higher. So much so that they began to just put long sticks at the top just to make it higher. Show me a stick at the top. That stick at the top serves no purpose other than to say, I'm higher than your building. I'm the highest building. And this is what happened during the time of Babylon, where they were just trying to climb, to get there, to get there, to get there. And the Most High God saw it, and that's where we're reading from right now. Everyone understands. You can just pick any building down there. They all have it. Even though over there in Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, come on.
The Burj Khalifa now in Dubai is one of the tallest, if not the tallest.
Right. All of them just have a point that just is there for height. The ones in Philadelphia who sued us and we won them. We won against them. They're the Most High hand. I thought about them yesterday. Them bastards. If you ever look at the skyline in Philadelphia, the skyline, they sued us. Not one building, all of them. And they're called Liberty Place. And it's all of the skyscrapers in Philadelphia. And them bastards sued us, took us to court, all of them. And they sued us for how much, Mayat? Do you remember? I think I remember. I remember exactly the exact amount. $245,000. I opened the paperwork. Listen, I felt that. That thing said they were suing us for $245,000. They were suing us. And the Lord prevailed. Barakatah Yahweh Yahushua. You see that little point? That point is for height. This is what Babylon did. It's trying. And now every church has a steeple, a little point, pointing up to God, pointing to him, to conquer him, to rule over him. The Egyptians, they would bury their dead. It started off with little burial mounds. Just the hill that's on top of a dead body from putting the dirt on top of it. Then it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger to mimic the first great hunter of the heathens, which was Nimrod. And everyone is just trying to do what he did, trying to finish the job he didn't complete. That's why America said, bring me your huddled masses, your poor, your souls seeking to be free. That's what's written at the base of the Statue of Liberty. Because they want to gather all people into America to build skyscrapers to fight God. All right, so everyone's caught up. That's where we are in the story right now with Nimrod. Go ahead and read it. See me one more time with the chaser, somebody, all right?
Let us
Go ahead.
make us a name.
Let us do what?
Let us make us a name.
Let us do what?
Let us make us a name.
Oh, that's what they want. They want to be famous, huh? They want to be famous. Chaser, please, just to be famous. Let us make us a name. Go ahead.
Book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 4. And he said, Go, let us build us a city and tower, and stop and reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth.
Meaning, if we don't get famous and glorious, we will not be together anymore. We'll be divided. So we have to all unify and come together and take out God. We have to rule from heaven if we want to stay together. The water. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men built. Verse 6. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one.
When it says the Lord came down, it means he sent angels down. Just like he did with Sodom and Gomorrah. He sent angels down to see what they're doing, to give him a report. And this is what the angel's report was. Go ahead.
And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language.
The people is one, and they all have one language. This was the goal of the Spaniards, the British Empire, and America, to unify everyone under one common law, under one common culture, and under one common language. That's why they demand that you assimilate. The Romans wanted the same thing. The Greeks wanted the same thing. For everyone to assimilate into one culture so they can give all of us one goal. And that goal being to fight God. Go ahead.
And this they began to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them.
And this they begin to do. They're doing it. And before you know it, nothing will stop them. They'll be able to do anything. Why? Because they're all unified. They're all together. They're all one. And if they're one, they're going to fight God. A lot of you who are sitting here watching the class today, right? You see the division that's in America? You see the Democrats that hate the Republicans and the Republicans that hate the Democrat. You see how they fight each other? And they're constantly against each other. You might look at that and go, it's just too much chaos in Washington. You know, Americans don't get along. The British Empire, they're fighting each other. The Tories are fighting the conservatives. And the House of Commons is all divided. Let me tell you something. If our oppressor was not fighting each other, he would be fighting God. If he was one, if there was no battle between Democrats and Republicans, liberals and conservatives in Great Britain, what would he do then? Then what would he do? He would set his sights on heaven to control heaven. Continue.
Verse 7. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech.
Then the Most High went down there and he got them all to disagree. He made riots in the Capitol, the Democrats fighting the Republicans. He put some old drunk in charge of Great Britain. Great Britain has a prime minister that's a red-nosed drunk. They constantly vote no confidence against him, trying to get him out of office. The political fighting that you see is from God. God wants that. Because if white people came together as one, they would set their mind on controlling the universe. They did it in 1969. If they come together to destroy the universe. God gives them an enemy here on earth. Everybody understands. I think I broke that down for you. Anything else? I think that's that. Are we up there or not? Good to go. Was that it? With that, pass the class over to Priest Officer Daniela.
ISUPK security announcement. We the ISUPK started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of Jennifer Gahana. Room for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation to teach on the radio after 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will know each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is the commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means tip in Hebrew. Like Asherah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord give you, give to the treasury department. Priest funds you are offered for priest, not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like, up become a holy convocation, which is memorial blowing of the trumpet, which would be September 25th. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start to wear all black, black boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, men of Israel, Imagine. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine, Barak, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shabbat, Thumb. Yahweh, hands down, Sar, return. Face the sisters, Imagine, which means stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give the sisters one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine, Barak, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shabbat. Yahweh, class dismissed.